welcome to Suricata Crafts. I'm Rebecca, and today I'm going to teach you about the basics of reading a ball band. It's going to teach you everything you need to know about your new ball of yarn. A ball band is a paper band around your ball of yarn giving you essential information. It informs you of the fiber content, the guide for mixing or substituting yarns, choosing tools, and laundering and caring for your yarn. In a word, no. But you can also buy a car without popping the hood. You can get interesting results choosing a random fiber, indiscriminate tools, and laundering at will. But I suggest you read the ball band. You can start one of two ways. Either choosing a yarn and finding a pattern to match it, or you can find a pattern that you like and finding yarn that'll fit your pattern. We're going to start at the front of the band, which is going to give you the brand and the type of yarn, which is Lion Brand, Ferris Wheel. Next, we're going to move to the back of the band, where it's going to tell you the weight of the ball, the yardage, the category, the fiber content, recommended tools, the gauge, the care symbols, and the dye lot. And we'll go through all of these in more detail. Your brand could be a big brand like Lion Brand, Red Heart, Hobie, or it could be an indie dyer. The yarn type is whatever the company has named this type of yarn. So they'll all be a similar style, like a roving, or in this case, a cake, and similar colorways. They all fade or gradiate similarly in all different colors. This is telling you the weight of the ball and the yardage. There are two different categories of weight, the weight of the ball and the weight of the yarn, and this can be very confusing to new buyers. The weight of the ball means if I were to put this on a scale, how much it would weigh, in this case 3 ounces or 85 grams. The weight of the yarn is actually the thickness of the strand, but we're going to get into more of that in a minute. So grams and ounces, yards and meters. Always compare both to your pattern, as fibers like cashmere weigh less than fibers like cotton. This is your fiber content, in this case 100% acrylic, but it could be using words like polyester, acrylic, polyamide, which are all man-made, or wool, merino, cotton, bamboo, hemp, linen, or alpaca, which are all natural fibers. The weight of the yarn is a number that the Craft Council has assigned to the different thicknesses of yarn. They range from 0 to 7, with 0 being incredibly thin and 7 being ridiculously bulky. Traditionally, names like lace weight, DK, worsted, and Aran were and still are used and can fit into the Council's categories. These are your recommended tools. I stress recommended. Different size tools will give you a different effect. If you use bigger needles, there's going to be more space between your stitches. Smaller means tighter. Both have their uses. In the box, there are a bunch of numbers. Always check that it says 4 by 4 inches or 10 by 10 centimeters. That's telling you if you use a 4.5 millimeter knitting needles, knit 20 stitches by 20 rows, you're going to get a 4 by 4 inch square. I've knit up a swatch as an example for you. This is Hobie's We Love Yarn. And if you check the gauge swatch, it's telling you if you use 6.5 millimeter knitting needles and knit 12 stitches by 18 rows, you should have a 4 by 4 inch square. But I'm a tight knitter, which means that I hold the yarn at a tighter tension as it glides through my fingers. And as you can see, my tension swatch is nowhere near where it needs to be, which means that I'm going to have to use bigger needles or more stitches to reach my 4 inch square. For the crochet, I used a 6.5 millimeter hook, knit 12 single crochets for 18 rows, and this one came out perfect. I wouldn't have to make any adjustments to meet my gauge. Now for the care symbols. You can see here it says machine washable and dryable, which is what these symbols are telling you. You can wash it in a washing machine at up to 40 degrees Celsius. Do not bleach. You can dry it on medium heat, don't iron, and you can dry clean with any solvent. Typically, your yarns will tell you that you can machine wash and lay flat to dry. Anything with wool will definitely say to hand wash. I find that I've spent so many hours and put so much work into my object that I don't want to risk putting it in a washer or a dryer. So I always hand wash and lay flat to dry after wringing it out in a towel. If it's dirty and it needs to be laundered, I use a wool detergent such as Eucalyptus. Last up, we're going to see this group of numbers. The article number means that it is Lion Brand's Ferris wheel. The color number 607 means it is full moon. And the lot number means it was dyed in the 31st batch of this color. If you need more than one ball for your project, you're going to need to match your dye lots. Otherwise, you could have color changes halfway through your project. So buy accordingly and get enough of your dye lot to finish your project. So that's it. Now you know how to read the ball band and how to choose the right yarn for your project. You can find me on Facebook at Suricata Crafts, on Instagram as rebekah.watkins.shaw, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Have a great day and happy crafting!